here with Robin Randolph, the marketing manager for North America for Fisher Paykel. Hi, Robin. Can you talk a little bit? Does it still hold true? You know, when people think of sleep apnea, they think of a male, middle-aged, overweight snorer. I guess what is that image? Is that image correct?
Well, that image is correct, but at the same time, we might be missing the prevalence of women with sleep apnea. In fact, there's been some recent studies that show that men are diagnosed 8 to 9 times more frequently than a female with obstructive sleep apnea.
So what role can providers play in kind of marketing to the to women, or this, it seems like a segment of the population that's been underdiagnosed?
That's a very good question. I think especially as we're all out there trying to find different ways in which we can market and expand our referrals, that by expanding our story to look at women differently for symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea may yield some new referrals from the same exact referral sources that they're already calling upon. The biggest reason we believe that men are diagnosed more often is they have classic symptoms. They typically have been asked to move out of their bedroom by their wife because of the very loud snoring, or they are excessively sleepy during the daytime. So that while that's all classic and true, women present so much differently when they seek a physician. And their symptoms may be, I'm fatigued instead of excessively sleepy, I'm depressed, I'm irritable, I have memory loss, and the typical kinds of diagnoses that come from those kind of complaints, depending on your age, may be hormonal changes, could be hypothyroidism, depression, obesity, you're overworked, and my favorite, a hypochondriac. So women definitely present differently, and the reason we believe that is men typically will go into a deep state of sleep. And they sleep pretty solidly most of the night, and in their REM periods is when the snoring gets kicked up and they're louder in their snoring, and they have, especially flat on their back and in REM, the bigger components of apnea occurring. While women tend to be REM dependent, we only go in and out of REM a few times a night, 3-4 times a night if we're lucky. And if that's the only time a female is going to have the snoring and exhibit obstructive sleep apnea, and that sound bed partner over there may not hear her, that may be a good reason why they don't lack maybe the excessive sleepiness, because it's not happening as consistently. But the other important factor is that women are vigilant sleepers. Women tend to sleep lighter, and whether that's DNA because we've typically been the child care providers, I'm not sure, but a vigilant sleeper, when they feel their airway starting to close, may start coughing and choking versus the snort of arousal that a male will have. So it's really interesting the differences in how the women and the men not only stage in and out of their sleep, but again, the deeper sleep versus the more vigilant sleeper.
Talking about women and undiagnosed populations, so where do you see the sleep market going, in 5 or 10 years? Do you think there will be some headway in terms of diagnosing some of these people?
Absolutely. I think there's more and more research occurring in women as a whole, but also in children, and who's the caregiver of children? It's the female again. So if we can focus more on a consumer-driven market of getting the attention to the female, first of all, she's going to still continue identifying, a loud snoring spouse and get them to the doctor. If we can educate the physicians on women's sleep is presented a little bit different than a male, maybe we could identify those. And then thirdly, children, preschool age, 2 to 8 years of age, are the ones who typically will present with obstructive sleep apnea. And with the obesity epidemic that's going on, especially with childhood obesity, we know that these children may need treated as well. Now, 80% of those children will have a tonsillectomy, and it'll be successful for that, but that leaves 20% that may need further support from a device. So I think that, again, that focus on women, go out to your referral sources that you're already calling on and help educate them about these other two deserving opportunities to identify a very dangerous disease, really.
Great. Thanks, Robin.
You're welcome.